Today, we are diving into something, well, something pretty out there. We're looking at a wild proposal aimed squarely at the world's most powerful leaders, one that tries to fix our earthly problems with a cosmic twist.
So here's how we're going to unpack this whole thing. First, we'll set the scene with the current global politics that apparently sparked this whole conversation. Then we'll get to the invitation itself, who it's from, and the grand theory of history they use to back it up. And you're going to want to stick around for the end, because that's when we get to the really mind-bending part. A plan for escaping the matrix.
All right, so to really get what's going on, we have to start with the current political chessboard, specifically looking at the potential foreign policy of a future Trump-Vance administration in the U.S.
This quote right here is from potential Secretary of State Marco Rubio. In a recent interview, he signaled a really strong, almost unilateral approach to foreign policy. And according to the material we're digging into, it's exactly this kind of decisive energy that, believe it or not, attracted some cosmic attention.
Right, so this political vibe, this strong stance, well, apparently it sent a signal out, and it caught the attention of a very unconventional source. This led to an open invitation to basically merge earthly power with a kind of higher cosmic wisdom.
And the figure, or entity, at the center of all this is named Kukulkan. And let me tell you, their resume is something else. They're described as an Anunnaki ambassador, a prophet, a Mayan elder, and a meditation guru. I mean, that's a combination that positions them as a bridge between our world and, well, other worlds. Kukulkan represents an organization called the UUCGA, and their list of interests is, to put it mildly, eclectic. We're talking about everything from the military-industrial complex and alien disclosure to controversial figures like Andrew Tate, big finance like BlackRock, and then it's all tied into this grander spiritual concept of a Maya love enlightenment game. It's a wild mix.
So what's the bottom line here? It's a direct pitch to the potential Trump-Vance team. The message is simple. You have the political power, let's combine it with a higher cosmic perspective.
Okay, so cosmic diplomacy sounds cool, but what does it actually mean? What's the plan on the ground? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of what's actually being proposed here. First up, they're proposing what they call a trinity. The idea is to bring together the foreign ministers from the US, Russia, and Ukraine, get them to work as a single team, and the immediate goal? To prevent a global thermonuclear war. You know, no big deal.
And this isn't just some vague idea either. There's a whole 5-step peace plan on the table. It gets right into the core issues of the conflict. It talks about Ukrainian neutrality in exchange for security, giving special status to disputed regions, and even a step-by-step process for lifting sanctions and rebuilding the country. It's pretty detailed.
But the vision doesn't stop at Earth's atmosphere. Oh no! The proposal also calls for a major shift in the mission of the U.S. Space Force. The idea is for them to team up with NASA and SpaceX and move beyond just watching Earth. The new goal? Deep space exploration and becoming the guardians of humanity's future out there in the stars.
So you might be asking, why all this? Why the cosmic intervention and the grand plans? Well, to really get that, we need to dive into the source's unique take on human history and the systems of control they believe have been running the show for centuries. According to this source, it all starts with something called Romanization. You know, the process where the Roman Empire basically stamped its culture, its laws, and its language across the known world. And here's the key. Even after the empire itself crumbled, that cultural and religious influence just kept going, laying the groundwork for what they see as today's systems of control. And this is the crucial link. That ancient power structure didn't just disappear. The source argues it just evolved. It became what we now refer to as the deep state and the military-industrial complex, a modern-day version of the old Roman elite, operating behind the scenes. And this chart really lays out the parallels they're drawing. On one side, you've got the Roman Empire using military conquest and cultural assimilation. On the other, you have the modern military-industrial complex, which they claim uses military interventions and economic organizations to push Western ideals. It's presented as the same playbook, just with a different cover. So how does a system like this maintain control for so long? According to this source, the key tool is, and always has been, fear. They argue that powerful institutions, from the Catholic Inquisition to the colonial conquests and even, controversially, modern psychiatry, have all used fear to keep people in line and crush different ways of thinking. Okay, so we've gone through the politics, the plan, and this whole alternative view of history. And it all leads up to this one giant final conclusion, that humanity is basically living inside a matrix of control. And the real endgame is to wake up and get out.
So if we're in a matrix, how do we escape? Well, Kukulkan lays out a four-step path to what they call awakening. It starts with becoming an enlightened soldier, which is all about inner strength. From there, it moves to a new kind of spiritual leadership, then to integrating ancient Maya wisdom, and it all culminates in a specific meditation practice designed to dissolve the ego.
And here's the metaphor they use to really drive it home, and it's a powerful one. They say our reality is essentially a cosmic video game, the Maya Love Enlightenment game. And in this game, our higher self, our true consciousness, is the player, and our physical body is just the avatar we control on the screen. So what's the point of all this? Escaping the matrix? Mastering the game? It's all supposed to lead to one single massive event, a global consciousness shift. Just one.
And if or when that shift happens, the idea is that everything changes. We're talking about moving beyond politics, beyond war, beyond all the division. It would be the moment humanity realizes that it's all part of a divinely orchestrated plan, kicking off a whole new era of unity and spiritual growth.
Which leaves us with one heck of a question to chew on. What if all of it, the geopolitical drama, the personal struggles, the whole human experience, is just one level of a much bigger cosmic game? A game that we're all ultimately supposed to win together.